Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a big fan of all things music, movies and pop culture, and today I wanted to go through my CD soundtrack collection. Here's majority of them in this crate. I'm hoping I don't miss out on any that are just like loose somewhere. I'm also shooting this with my handy cam today, which is a bit fun, so hopefully all of that goes well. There are also quite a lot, so I'll try to keep everything as short and sweet as possible. First movie I have here is A Complete Unknown from 2025. It is the Bob Dylan biopic that stars Timothy Chalamet. I saw this movie in the cinema and I really liked it. I'm a big fan of music biopics and I really enjoy Bob Dylan's music. My favourite Bob Dylan album is The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, which I discovered because of the film Dogfight. The next album is A Star Is Born, which is a movie I saw in the cinema 13 times when it came out because I loved it so much, and it was just an easy watch because music movies are very easy because they have pace and they move along. I haven't watched it a lot recently, but like in that end of 2018, 2019 summer time, I was seeing this movie a lot. Next film is Almost Famous from 2000. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. The soundtrack for this movie is so cool. It's got like Led Zeppelin and Bowie, and obviously it's got Tiny Dancer by Elton John because there's that iconic scene in the film that uses that song. And that's what I love about movies, and that's what I love about movie soundtracks, is that a song can enhance a scene and it can live out on its own within that, and that's how I feel about Almost Famous and like a scene like the Tiny Dancer scene in that movie. Next is Amadeus from 1984. This is one of my favourite movies of all time, and then one of my favourite soundtracks of all time because I love Mozart's music. I love this soundtrack. It's like a double album of just classical music and just like stunning pieces of work. Like it's just genius. Like it's so hard to listen to and not be moved or inspired. Amadeus is one of my favorite plays and films ever. Every time I watch it, I'm just inspired and impressed, and I think it's a bit underseen at the moment, and it's one of my life's missions to get people to watch it. Next is Back to the Future from 1985. Again, another iconic movie and iconic soundtrack with songs like The Power of Love and Back in Time. This soundtrack is cool because it has like songs from the 50s as well, songs like Earth Angel and Johnny Be Good and things like that. I love when a movie soundtrack does that. There are a lot of movies from the 1980s that have a lot of 1950s nostalgia, which is fun and interesting as well. Next is Barbie the album from 2023. I love this movie. I love this soundtrack. It's so fun and it has so many different artists on it, like Charlie XCX, Dua Lipa, Lizzo, Kid Laroi, Billie Eilish, Haim. Like it's stacked. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, Sam Smith, Karol G, Khalid, and the songs work for each person's style as well, which is so cool. And again, I love when a movie becomes like a pop culture phenomenon, and I love when a soundtrack does that too, and I feel that way about the whole Barbie situation. Next is Blinded by the Light from 2019. This is an underrated movie. It's about this guy in England who like wants more out of life, and he loves Bruce Springsteen, and so the movie is pretty much soundtracked by Bruce Springsteen songs, and it's also set in the 80s, and it's so fun and uplifting because yeah, that's how people feel when they have an artist or songs in their life that like pretty much soundtrack their life and motivate them to want to be and do more. Yeah, majority of the album is just Bruce Springsteen songs, so it's hard to be upset about that. Next is Bohemian Rhapsody from 2018. This is a movie that I saw in the cinema a few times as well. It came out around the same time as A Star Is Born, so I even did like Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star Is Born as a double feature at one point, which was really fun. But again, yeah, this album is pretty much just Queen music because it is the Queen biopic. I really love this album too because it's got like movie mixes, but it's also got live versions. Like it's got the Live Aid version of like Hammer to Fall and Radio Gaga and stuff. Obviously Bohemian Rhapsody is known for recreating the Live Aid sequence like at the end of the movie, so I like getting to have those versions of the song. Next is Breakfast on Pluto from 2005. This is a movie soundtrack that I love so much. This movie stars Cillian Murphy. It's an Irish film. I watched it a few years ago, and after I watched it again straight away the following day because I loved it so much. And then I bought the book and I read the book, and then I was trying to track down this album and it was so hard to find. I don't remember how much I paid for it. This version is like a little bit cooked, but it's okay. I had to get it off of like Discogs. This was like the only one ever. I was like, what? But I love this album so much. I used to listen to it on repeat. We've reached one of my favorite albums of all time, and that's Call Me By Your Name from 2017. I love this movie. I love this book. I saw the movie when it came out, all of that, and then last year when I was in Italy I bought the book and read it while I was in Italy, and that experience was so special. But I also was listening to this soundtrack like non-stop. What I love about this soundtrack is that it's got 80s music, it's got like Italian 80s music, then it's got classical pieces, and then it has original music as well. Songs like Words and Lady Lady and all the classical pieces, and then obviously things like Mystery of Love and Futile Devices and things like that. They just put me in this space of like nostalgia and just wanting to be back in Italy. Next is the Cats soundtrack from 2019. I saw this movie in the cinema. I've seen it a couple times. I love Cats the musical. I saw Cats the musical this year live, and it's always very impressive to me when I can see the actual musical version. Next is Cruella from 2021. This is a movie I saw in the cinema, and I really loved the needle drops in this movie. There are so many. There's an original song by Florence and the Machine. I love Florence and the Machine, and the artists on this album are like wild. Like the Clash is there, Queen's there, Electric Light Orchestra, Ike and Tina Turner, Nina Simone, The Doors, Bee Gees, Supertramp. This is wild. Next from 1999 is Detroit Rock City. I love this movie and I'm a massive Kiss fan, so when I watch this movie it makes me feel like me going to like Kiss concerts and stuff. The last Kiss concert I went to was their last in Australia, and I was like right up at the front, so watching this makes me feel like hell yeah. I think watching this movie as well is a reminder of how exciting the live music and concert experience is, especially when it's your favorite band or favorite artist. So also this soundtrack is full of like other artists too, because like Everclear, Kiss, Van Halen, Pantera, Black Sabbath, Marilyn Manson, Thin Lizzy, Cheap Trick, David Bowie, The Donnas. Oh, they're doing a cover of Strutter, and The Runaway Suite. Next is another classic soundtrack. It's the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, and it's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, and I think it's a staple soundtrack that everyone should have in their collections. It has songs from the 60s that are just so good, and then it has original songs like Hungry Eyes and She's Like the Wind, and it's just so fun. I've had the time of my life. All of these songs are just so great and iconic. Next is Elvis from 2022. This is the soundtrack to the Baz Luhrmann film, which I love. I saw this 5 times in the cinema because I loved it so much, and I love this soundtrack. It's obviously been like Baz Luhrmannified, and it's versions of Elvis songs that I don't have Doja Cat thrown in or like other artists thrown in, but again it's cool because it's got like live versions of Elvis stuff like the Vegas stuff. Then there's the Tame Impala version of like Edge of Reality. You're not going to listen to this and expect to hear straight up Elvis. Like if you want to do that, go listen to Elvis. It works for the movie and what Baz Luhrmann was doing. But next is F1 from 2025. This is a recent one. This is a movie I saw in the cinema and I loved, and then it was nominated for Best Picture, and this album is so cool because the artists on them are cool, and then the songs are like sick as, and when they're used in the movie and stuff, it's awesome. This album has like I think only original songs written for the album. The opening of the movie is literally A Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. Like it's sick, but that's not on the soundtrack. Next is Footloose from 1984. Again, this is a movie soundtrack that I feel like a lot of people should have in their collection because number one, the title song is fantastic, and again another radio hit. It's not something I've really mentioned, but a lot of these albums have radio hits from the movies, which I think is really cool as well, and happens a bit less these days, but that's for another time. But the Footloose soundtrack is so fun. Let's Hear It for the Boy is one of my favorite songs of all time. It's a song I've grown up on. And then there's like Look, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Somebody's Eyes, Dancing the Sheep. They're all these. And then where's the song where he's jumping around? Never. Next is Flash Gordon. This is a Queen album, but it's also the soundtrack to the film Flash Gordon. It's also my favorite Queen album of all time. Flash Gordon's one of my favorite movies of all time. I grew up on it. I love the songs. I love the music. Like the score music is like stunning. This movie is just so fun to me, and it's so colorful, and it's underrated. Everyone should watch Flash Gordon. Next is another classic. It is The Godfather from 1972. Again, this is pretty much just the score. It's so stunning, and it stands out that like whenever you listen to any piece of music from The Godfather, you know exactly what scene it came out of. Next is Grease from 1978. This is my copy of the soundtrack, and it's signed by John Travolta. And again, Grease is one of my favorite movies of all time. I have seen this a million times, and again, I could watch it a million times. I love it so much. It's extremely special to me. Next is The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 1996. This is, I think, my favorite Disney movie of all time. It's also one of my favorite movies of all time because it is so dark. The score and the music is absolutely amazing, and since I've been watching it like as a little kid, there's always been something about it that's really captured my attention. And even now when I watch it and I like weep at it just because it's so great, I'm like just so impressed that this is like a Disney movie that exists, honestly. Next is Inside. This is the Bo Burnham soundtrack of the Netflix special that he did at home. I think it came out in 2021 because I watched it while I was still in lockdown. I was so impressed by this when it came out. I still am. Like, it's really good. And then yeah, I bought the soundtrack for it. Next is In the Heights from 2021. This is the film adaptation of the Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. I knew pretty much all of In the Heights. It was in my world for a little bit before this movie came out, so I was really excited to see it because I'd seen it on stage and I love the songs, and it's lots of fun as a musical. And yeah, I love the versions of the songs that were done in the film, so I bought the CD. It's like full bucketing down with rain. Hopefully it can't really be heard, but it's fine. Next is Joseph and His Technicolor Dreamcoat. This is the recording from London Palladium cast recording. It's from the 90s, I believe. Again, I'm a big fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber and his musicals. I have seen this musical live as well. Next, from 1984 is the Karate Kid soundtrack. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one that I've watched over and over and over again, and I could watch over and over again. The soundtrack really adds to it. It's got lots of like 80s songs. There's lots of songs on it that are kind of like hidden. Songs like Young Hearts and Feel the Night I always enjoy listening to, but then also songs like You're the Best. It's sick. That whole montage at the end, like The Karate Kid is an extremely inspiring movie to me, and I love it so much. Next, from 2016 is the La La Land soundtrack. I love La La Land. I think it's such a wonderful movie musical, and I saw it many times in the cinema as well. I just saw it again in the cinema like last year on like a rooftop, and I was just like, oh, I love it so much. I used to listen to this all the time. I remember when I bought it and like posting photos on Instagram and doing the whole thing because I was just like, oh my gosh. And I still feel this way. I still think it's so magical. Next, from 2019 is Last Christmas. It's all George Michael and Wham songs, and that's why I love this movie, and that's why I bought it. I'm a massive fan of George Michael and his music. I've grown up on it. A soundtrack that's just George Michael is just like perfection to me. So next is Moulin Rouge from 2001. This is the soundtrack that I've grown up on. Actually, I might as well do this. And this is the volume 2 of the soundtrack, which I found one day in like some second-hand store. I grew up on the Moulin Rouge soundtrack. Like, I knew all the words and things to Moulin Rouge before I'd even watched it because my mum used to play it all the time. Again, this is one of those movies that just feels magical when you watch it, and when you listen to this soundtrack, the way that Ewan McGregor sings Your Song will forever be imprinted in my mind because it's just like so magical. And like things like Elephant Love Medley, like once that's stuck in your head, that stays forever. Next is the Moulin Rouge Broadway cast recording from 2019. I saw Moulin Rouge the musical in Melbourne a few years ago now, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was in 2022. I really enjoyed it, and obviously it's interesting to me because the songs are different because they have to be, because obviously there's different rights involved, and I guess the way that they approach doing it on stage that's all very interesting to me because yeah, they couldn't use all of the songs that they used for the movie version. Next from 2019 is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've seen this movie many times in the cinema. I think I saw it like 5 times, and then I saw it like in an outdoor cinema too because I loved it, and I bought this soundtrack the following day because I saw it opening night. Look at all that easy, and whenever I listen to it, it just drags me back to that point in time, which was like in 2019, like August 2019. It just like motivated me and inspired me, and then I bought the record for it, and it was like this orange one. It's sick, and I love a Tarantino soundtrack, and this one's my favorite one hands down. Next is the Peaky Blinders soundtrack from 2019. This is like a double album, and the artist on this album is like crazy as well. I love the Peaky Blinders soundtrack. There's a lot of Nick Cave used in Peaky Blinders. Obviously like Red Right Hand is pretty much like the theme song, and I am a massive Nick Cave fan, so whenever Nick Cave's music is used in Peaky Blinders, I'm like, yeah. But yeah, this soundtrack is so cool because like, yeah, PJ Harvey is there and a lot of artists that I hadn't really listened to. Oh, Radiohead. I've listened to Radiohead. A lot of artists are on the Peaky Blinders soundtrack as well that I hadn't really listened to, but when you listen to these albums from top to bottom, the whole vibe is just there. It's so cool. Next is Phantom of the Opera from 1986. This is the original Broadway recording, and again, this is one of my favorite musicals of all time. It's one of my favorite pieces of art of all time. When the musical came to Melbourne, I saw it 3 times. I could do the show myself, except I can't sing opera. Phantom of the Opera, these songs and this music is just so stunning. I've read the novel and I loved it. I also got this massive teddy bear at the musical as well, which makes me laugh, but yeah, I just love Phantom of the Opera so much, and I love the movie adaptation of it as well. Next is Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping from 2016. I know every word on this album, and I know every word of dialogue in this movie. I've seen it so many times, and it genuinely like changed my life when I discovered it. It's The Lonely Island, guys. It's like this is Spinal Tap. Like it's like a mockumentary, and it's done so well, and the songs and this soundtrack are 12 out of 10. They're so funny. It's hilarious. Next is another classic album and movie. It's Pretty Woman from 1990. This movie's soundtrack is like so important in like pop culture. It's one of those, and it's got songs like It Must Have Been Love by Roxette, King of Wishful Thinking by Go West, What Am I Missing? And obviously like Pretty Woman. This soundtrack just goes so well with the film, and the film is also so fun. Next is Pulp Fiction from 1994. Again, another Tarantino soundtrack, so you know it's going to be great. I bought this album pretty much right after I watched Pulp Fiction for the first time, and then I bought the record as well. Like I was like impressed. Again, this soundtrack is just like full of songs. I used to just like put it on and like I loved it. I need to rewatch Pulp Fiction because I haven't watched it in years at this point. Next is Purple Rain from 1984. This is an album, but it's also the soundtrack to the film Purple Rain starring Prince. This album and this movie are just amazing. They changed my life. I've been a Prince fan since I was born. The day I watched Purple Rain, my life changed forever. I'd seen the music videos a million times and heard the album and all of that, but then I watched it and I was like, whoa, this album from beginning to end is fantastic. This is one of the first few albums that I bought when I decided I'm going to start collecting music. This is an important part of my life. This was the first one, apart from like my One Direction albums, and again, this is something I've grown up on, but I love it so much, and it's very special to me. Next is Reality Bites from 1994. This is a Ben Stiller film, and I love this film so much. It stars, here we go, Winona Ryder, Ethan Hawke, and Ben Stiller, and songs like My Sharona in this movie, like Rock and Roll Part 2's in it. It's a sick way to open the movie, honestly. Lenny Kravitz is on this album, Crowded House, U2, like come on. Next from 2012 is Rock of Ages. This is a musical, and I really enjoy this movie. The actual songs on this soundtrack is so good. 2019 there's Rocket Man. This is the Elton John musical journey film biopic situation starring Taron Egerton. I've seen Elton John live many times as well. I'm a big fan, and I saw this a few times in the cinema as well. I think it's a really cool way to do a biopic when it's done in like a magical musical way. Next is the Better Man soundtrack. This is a Robbie Williams biopic soundtrack. I saw this movie a couple times in the cinema. cinema, and I loved the oomph that came with this biopic. I thought it was so cool. The concept of him playing a monkey worked so well. I also know people who worked on this film because it was shot in my city, which is so cool. In order to promote the movie, Robbie Williams was in my city and then did like a free gig, and then I went, and that was really cool as well. Next is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, and that is the Rocky Horror Picture Show from 1975. This is the movie soundtrack starring Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon. I love the packaging of this album as well. I bought this right after I saw Rocky Horror for the first time, and I've seen it so many times because it's such an easy watch. And then I've seen like the stage show as well and got like the program and a mug and the whole thing, but I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Next is William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet from 1996. This is the soundtrack to the Baz Luhrmann film, and again, this soundtrack is so good. Like, Radiohead's on it. I love this soundtrack. It just suits the film so well, even when you listen to it without watching it. Like, the Young Hearts Run Free scene is just like one of the best in cinema history, and then songs like Kissing You's on this album, Oh Loveful's on this album. Like, it's just so good. Saturday Night Fever, this is, I believe, one of the top selling albums of all time, and then obviously one of the top selling soundtracks of all time. This album is amazing. I really love the movie as well. Songs on this album are just iconic, and I don't throw around the word iconic easily because it's too overused, but Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, Night Fever, More Than a Woman, If I Can't Have You is one of my favorite songs of all time. The Fifth of Beethoven is the sick piece of music that if you haven't heard it, you need to listen to it like right now. And then look, You Should Be Dancing, and then Disco Inferno, like Jive Talking. How can you fault this album? Next is The Sopranos, Peppers and Egg from 2001. This is one of the first soundtracks. I think there's another version of the soundtrack that came out. I love The Sopranos. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's in like my top 5. I love it so much, and the soundtrack for the show is amazing as well. Like, even just looking at the artists on here right now: The Police, Otis Redding, Frank Sinatra, The Rolling Stones, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, The King, Bob Dylan, Keith Richards, The Pretenders, Van Morrison. It goes on and on. Next, from 1995, is the Swan Princess, which I'm kind of shocked because I don't remember having this. I have such a good memory and I can't remember getting this, which is like concerning. I love the Swan Princess. I think the trilogy is fantastic. I've got a poster. I have all of the movies and I have them on tape, and I grew up watching them, and the songs are so good. If you haven't heard Far Longer Than Forever, and then Because I Love Her from, I think it's in the 3rd movie, you have to go listen to them because those songs are amazing. Here is the soundtrack to one of my favorite movies, and that is This Is Spinal Tap. This is the Spinal Tap album. I bought this on iTunes when I first got into the movie because I used to watch it like every night because I loved it. It was just like a comfort watch to me, and then I listened to it all the time because I loved it so much and it inspired me so much. And then I remember finding it while I was shopping once in like some secondhand place, and I was like, I think there's been like a re-release since the second movie came out, which I loved the second movie. I need to get that soundtrack, but I love Spinal Tap. From 1998 is Titanic. This is like a double album, and it's the James Horner soundtrack, and then My Heart Will Go On is on it. I've seen Celine Dion live and I've heard My Heart Will Go On live, and I just like cried because I love Titanic and I love this so much. And oh my god, and I would have bought this album like 10 years ago. This soundtrack is so wonderful. Also, I bought on iTunes this like dialogue version of My Heart Will Go On, and it's not on this album. It makes me laugh that I did that. I would listen to it and just cry. Next is Top Gun from 1986. There's songs on this album like Danger Zone, Take My Breath Away, You've Lost That Loving Feeling, Great Balls of Fire. This soundtrack is like full of awesome songs, and that's what I love about a lot of 80s movies, is that the soundtracks are just so good. And Top Gun's a fun movie as well. Next is the soundtrack to one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and again, one of my favorite pieces of media and art of all time, and that is Twin Peaks. This is the album that I bought right after I finished Twin Peaks, and I was like enthralled. And then this is a copy of the album that's from Japan that my friend got for me because she knows I love Twin Peaks. Oh, this one says music from Twin Peaks and this one says soundtrack. Next is the soundtrack for Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me from 1992. This is a movie I don't want to watch for a while. I saw it again after many years in the cinema last year, and it made me extremely uncomfortable and stressed out. not, but it is just so great. Next is another soundtrack to one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is The Wedding Singer from 1998. I love this soundtrack. This is a movie that's soundtrack nostalgic to me, but also all the songs from this soundtrack, if I hear them out and about, always remind me of the movie. Like, let's go through it. Video killed the radio star. Do you really want to hurt me? Every little thing she does is magic. How soon is now? Love my way. Hold me now. Every day I write the book. White wedding. China girl. Blue Monday past the duchy. Somebody kill me. The Adam Sandler song. And Rapper's Delight. The only thing is I've just realized Grow Old With You is not on this version of the album, and I have an issue with that. Next is West Side Story from 2021. This is the Steven Spielberg version of the film, and it stars Rachel Ziegler and Ansel Elgort. And again, I just love West Side Story, so I had to get this album. I love a musical movie, and I love when it's done well, and Steven Spielberg can do no wrong in my eyes. Like, he has just gone and done like every genre and just like nailed it every time. Next is Wicked. This is the original Broadway cast recording from 2003. This soundtrack changed my life after I saw Wicked for the first time. Next are the Wicked movie soundtracks. This is Wicked from 2024, the first film, and then this is Wicked for Good from 2025. It came out last year. I very much enjoy these soundtracks, and I loved these movies. Next is the soundtrack to The Wolf of Wall Street from 2013. I saw The Wolf of Wall Street now, oh my gosh, 10 years ago, and again, I bought the soundtrack straight away because the use of Anthony's Song by Billy Joel in this movie like pushed me over the edge of just needing to own this album. But like, this whole album is so good. Next is the Wuthering Heights album by Charlie XCX. This came out last month and I bought it straight away. I love this album. I think this album captures Wuthering Heights so well, and I have listened to it so many times. Next is Xanadu from 1980. This album is so cool. The movie is really fun. It's visually stunning, and Olivia Newton-John is in it. And yeah, ELO did the soundtrack, and it's just like them and Olivia Newton-John. And of course, Xanadu's on this album, Magic's on this album. This is so random, but I just found this. It's the soundtrack to High School Musical 2, which is an amazing movie, and I love the High School Musical movies. I've seen them so many times. Next is Uncut Gems from 2019. This is the score to the movie, because when I watched Uncut Gems, I needed more Uncut Gems, and so I did. Adam Sandler's performance in this movie is so impressive, and this movie is just so impressive to me. It's one of my favorites of all time. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. I feel like there's probably some soundtracks that I missed, but in terms of like my crate and the random places that I have them, I hope I covered everything for now. My list is like ever growing, so it's not finalized as like this is the collection, but I'm always watching movies and finding new soundtracks, and I seek out movies with great soundtracks. It's an extremely important part of physical media and films to me. If you've made it to the end of this video, I hope that you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video.